What's going on, ChavezzSlovakia? So this video might come out first. It's by the King of Random. We saw, we got the suggestion for the giant vortex flaming fountain. It came out well. I mean, the guy's just got skills. Like, that's impressive. Like, I briefly talked about it in that video. My family are tinkerers, you know what I mean? Like, my grandfather, we grew up on a farm. I remember my best tinker story ever. It's quick, it's worth it too. It's quick and worth it. My sister had this pink bike that she outgrew from year to year because we spent the summers there at my grandfather's farm. So one summer she bought it, she loved it. The next summer we came back, my sister hated it. She was inside watching soap operas with my grandmother. Me and my grandfather was out in the barn. And he had his main barn and the yellow barn at the time. And on the yellow barn is where all the junk was at. So I went out and got the bike, brought it back, told him my sister didn't want it no more. He was like, cool, we should do some cool shit to it. You know, now that she doesn't want it. And my grandfather was like, let's turn it into a unicycle. And so me and my grandfather took down my sister's bike. We took it all apart. And we reassembled it and welded it into a giant ass unicycle, which nobody could ride because don't nobody know how to ride a fucking unicycle in my house. But we just built that shit and all took turns busting our ass trying to ride it, which is fucking fantastic. So, you know, I love channels like this, you know, that just build cool shit. And this is colored flame shooters. So let's just trust it and get into it.
Hey guys, I'm Nate, and we are back at the Dome. Not too long ago, we did an experiment to see if we could make rainbow fire. We used methanol and a few different chemicals to change the colors of our flames. And I thought by far the best too. We're using boric acid to make our flame a nice bright green. And using lithium out of some batteries to turn our flame a very intense magenta color.
Okay. Boric acid, you can find very easily at Home Depot or some shit like that because that's the same stuff you use for powder control for pests. So if you ever have any pest control, you can use boric acid in a place. It works really well on contact. If it gets wet though, it's done. It can't get wet, but it's super easy to get to.
Make our flame a nice
super easy
green,
to get to.
And using lithium out of some batteries to turn our flame a very intense magenta color. I wanted to try scaling that up, so instead of a little desktop fire, we have something more of a considerable fireball, something that really is impressive.
Oh my! Oh, there you go.
And still has that same bright green and bright magenta color that we had before. This is an experiment, and I don't know how well it will work. So to start out, we're going to scale up to just using a household spray bottle. We'll fill this up with our methanol, and we'll fill it with our boric acid or our lithium, and see if we can ignite the spray and get a nice bright green and bright magenta flame out of it. As you may recall from our previous experiments, the methanol burns very easily, but it doesn't put off the same yellow flame that we're used to seeing in a fire. It burns with a very pale blue flame. Since the methanol puts off so little light when it burns, it'll be interesting to see what happens when I spray it out of the spray bottle and try and ignite it. Maybe it will turn yellow as it combines with more oxygen in the air.
I got it just in like a cave somewhere.
All right, that's spraying out. Now let's see what happens if we spray it through a lighter.
Hey!
Well, it sprays.
It set yourself on fire, yeah.
Now, just to try and make that show up a little bit more, I'm going to close the door to the dome. And
wait, they have a dome in their house? He's got a dome?
The door to the dome is now closed, and you can see that there is still sunlight, and that's because we've got sort of an oculus up at the top that's letting in a little bit of light.
Bro, why do you have this shit in your crib?
The ambient light is way down there. Let's see if our methanol spray bottle shows up any better.
This is like one of the coolest places ever. Hey, that's sick.
That's pretty cool. It's blue, then purple, then orange at the very end.
That's fucking sick. Guess who's got a new party trick, bro?
This is working really well. The methanol in the spray bottle definitely lights. We get a cool little jet of colored fire. This is the blue to purple to orange fire. Now let's see what happens if we refill some more methanol and then add in a little bit of our boric acid.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm hoping we get a nice bright green flame.
I hope that shit works. That's so fucking cool.
It's like something straight out of Harry Potter.
Holy shit.
It's Diagon Alley.
Oh, yes.
It's so green.
That's fucking sick. I want one in my house.
When I do just the methanol, it sort of gets orange at the end. It changes colors along the flame. This just stays green the whole way.
I want one.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I want one, man.
This is working great. Let's move on and see if we can get the same result using the lithium in the methanol and get a nice magenta flame. I am trying a new experiment where I use a pipe cutter.
It's so hard to get in fucking batteries, dude.
Getting the casing off has always been a bit of a challenge.
It's a piece of shit.
You can do it just by being persistent and keep tearing away at it, but it's not fun. I think I'm through.
Get you a good pocket knife and get to
work.
work.
It crimps as it cuts a little bit. So good. As a reminder, here's what happens if you just light lithium on fire. There it goes. Fold that up, and we've got our spray bottle with methanol in it. We'll drop it down in there and shake it around and stir it.
Nice.
Until it is all dissolved.
Nice.
All right, we've got a nice spray. Let's see if it lights. That worked great. But I think we need to step it up another notch. This worked pretty well, but I want
get me
bigger
better than
flames.
that. That's cool.
You may remember the project where we showed you how to make flamethrowers out of fire extinguishers.
We might need to. Don't tell Skitten.
Well, let's see what happens if we take both of these fire extinguishers, fill them up with methanol, add the boric acid in one and the lithium in the other, and see if we can't just get a giant colored flamethrower going.
Don't tell Skitten, guys.
One safety precaution I am going to take, when the lithium in the methanol burns, it puts off a smoke that feels very aggressive and kind of uncomfortable if it gets in your lungs at all. So I try to only do that in places with good ventilation.
Right.
But the dome keeps the smoke in one place fairly well for a while. So I am going to be wearing a face mask that should filter out some of the smoke and make it safer for me to be in there. My cameraman will be wearing one as well.
Safer. Depends on the grade of your mask. I used to have one for pest control that was just filtered out everything.
Here we go.
All right.
Green on one side, red on the other.
Let's go it.
2, 1.
Oh my God, that's the coolest thing I've seen.
Oh, that's amazing!
That's the coolest thing I've seen in a long ass time. That takes the cake.
Ready?
What the fuck?
Oh, that's so great! Smoky.
That is so fucking cool.
I managed to catch just a little bit of the room on fire.
Nice.
That was awesome. And I think we've got just enough fuel to try it again.
Yes, please.
Let's reload.
Please. God, these kids out here fucking themselves up. Hey, you guys be careful out there, all right? God damn it.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Woo! That's so fucking cool.
Woo!
That was fucking cool, man. I am not sorry.
That worked great. I am really happy with how the colors showed up, both in the little spray bottles and in our fire extinguisher flamethrowers. I want to know what you think we should do next. Is there a good way that we could scale this up even more? Let us know.
Dude. Now see, with just the spray bottle, like, you know, even if you're just like a loser that likes the batteries instead of the you likes the red flame instead of the green flame, you're like a loser because the green flame is obviously superior. The spray bottle is like $1. The lighter fluid is like $4 or $5, and you know that pest control shit. You get a big ass thing of yeah. If you need the boric acid itself, I mean that's like $9 for like a huge bottle of one, and that's just fun all fucking day, man. Even if you want to do the scaled down version, that shit is cheap. Just to have some fun. That's so fucking worth it, man. That's cool as hell. Damn, what a great surprise. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one, ChavezzSlovakia. That was fantastic, man. Y'all take it easy.